Truly, Jehovah is the greatest open-handed giver in the universe. In Psalm 145 and verse 16, we read, "You open your hand and satisfy the desire of every living thing." Well, all of us have the privilege, but also the responsibility to imitate Jehovah and to be willing to open our hand. If you'd open your Bibles with me, let's look together at this thought that was included in the Mosaic Law at Deuteronomy chapter 15 and verse 7. It says, "If one of your brothers becomes poor among you in one of your cities of the land that Jehovah your God is giving you, do not harden your heart or be tight-fisted toward your poor brother, for you should generously open your hand to him and by all means lend whatever he needs or is lacking." Well, we get the point. Jehovah is teaching us that we should open our hand, just as he does, and not be tight-fisted. Well, when we do see a situation where one of our brothers or sisters is in need, or we can see that they could really use our help, it's very easy to feel powerless, or even to quickly conclude, there's really nothing I can do. Have you ever found yourself perhaps saying something like this? "Oh, I wish there was something I could do to help you." Or, "Well, if there's anything I can do, please let me know." Well, let's go back and look at Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 27, our text for today. And let's read it again. "Do not withhold good from those to whom you should give it, if it is within your power to help." Now, one reference work says regarding this verse, to withhold or hold back means to refuse to do the good and right thing for someone. Well, perhaps that's why the next verse, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 28, says this, "Do not say to your neighbor, 'Go away, come back later, I will give it to you tomorrow,' if you can give it now." Well, what's the point? Jehovah is teaching us to consider what we can do, what is within our power to be able to help. Well, what's going to determine how we respond when we see situations like this? Is it how much means we have available to us? Well, that's not always the case. If we really want to open our hand and give, then regardless of how much we have or how little we have, we'll find something within our power to be able to do. You know, when I was serving at the branch in Canada, I always remember a time when a younger brother who was working in the printery was in sick for quite a period of time. A member of the branch committee took over a big bag of groceries and other good things and left them outside the brother's room door. Well, that generous act did so much to lift the spirits of that brother when he was sick. But you know, that brother told everyone in the Bethel family about that kindness. And you know, it uplifted us. I still remember it after almost 20 years. Another time when I was serving at the branch in Canada, there was a major flood in the Winnipeg area. The branch committee asked the Bethel family if they would like to contribute to the disaster relief. I was amazed that in just 1 or 2 days, just the Bethel family was able to raise more than $10,000 for the disaster relief. Well, now, that's about 20 years ago, so that was a much larger sum at that time. All the brothers thought about what they could do. Well, really, brothers, opportunities are all around us to be able to help, to be able to open our hand, to be generous, to be kind. Well, now, are we going to suffer in some way if we do this? Proverbs chapter 11 and verse 25 says this, "The generous person will prosper, and whoever refreshed others will himself be refreshed." Well, that's the truth. A little story appeared back in 1869 in an agricultural journal, and it illustrates the truth of this proverb. One day, 2 fleshly brothers, one who was stingy and poor, and the other who was generous and rich, met in the barn. And the poor man said to his rich brother, "How is it that while you are being free and bountiful in your gifts, are growing rich so fast, while I, who give away very little, am always poor?" "I will show you why," replied the brother. They were standing by a barrel of flaxseed, and the prosperous brother thrust his hand into the seed and grasped in his closed hand as much as he could of the smooth and shining kernels. On opening his hand, hardly any remained. The seed had slipped through his fingers. "That is your way," he said, "but this is my way." And in his open hand, he scooped up a large handful of seed. Well, now, what was the point? What was he trying to say? The hand that is open to give will always hold more than the hand that is clenched to keep. And isn't it also true that Jehovah can always place more in an open hand, but not in a tight fist? So, brothers and sisters, what are we moved to do? Jehovah has set the example for us. He's the greatest open-handed giver, and he's instructed us not to be tight-fisted, but to be open-handed in our giving. May we be sensitive to the needs of others. And rather than going away and saying, "If there's anything I can do, please let me know," why not consider what we can do? And when we open our hand and act generously, then we can look for Jehovah to bless us, and if necessary, put something back in our hand to give to someone else.